allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary ayé bí number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn ayò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ayò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pírẹsidó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ayò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Igoni.
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Máyégún live. And once again, thank you very much for joining us. I remember to, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well, then like it and share it, to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them to join us, because Máyégún today. So tonight we are going to Anambra. A few days ago there was this report after the public expose on the atrocities of the armed gang called policemen working for the Tiger base in Owerri, Imo State. It was like opening the Pandora box. Victims after victims, their families, everyone was like taken to the social media to share their own experience or experiences in the hands of these armed supposed policemen. In fact, the expose got to the point where the main characters in these atrocities, like they were supposed to be policemen, right? But who have actually committed extrajudicial killings in the name of, security or what have you. And then the state government, the state police commissioner, and a few others also discovered another spot where they believed that there is an organ harvesting, procedure going on in that place. It's a mortuary, but the corpses without organs. So there are those who have said that if you go to Tiger base in Owerri, like if you come back alive, you may actually never remain the same again. And also, it is a place where they have accused them of, after abducting young, people from the eastern part of Nigeria, and they are, abducted and locked up in that Tiger base. So they could have them and their organs. They could have their organs, extracted, and then get killed. So when their government announced that they found this mortuary with lots of corpses, unidentified corpses, but their organs were all gone. So connecting the dots, right, also exposed the mischaracterization of the people, the armed terrorists, I call them, the criminals operating in the eastern part of Nigeria, and how much they are pretty much like linked to, or should I say, how much the supposed security agents themselves are so much involved in the insecurity with the mischaracterization, wherever news that comes from the eastern part of Nigeria, the media wants you to believe that that is done by the IPOB, for those of you who are like the anti-IPOB. The issue of courtism is also a menace, although the issue of the Fulani terrorism and other terrorism have been like occupying the front pages of everyday dailies in Nigeria. However, in that same country, especially in the southern part of Nigeria, including the eastern part and Niger Delta, as we call them, the south, the menace of courtism, court war, where young people, and not so young people, right, have been involved in violence, where they have been like, not just killing themselves and their members, including, attacking communities where they believed their own targets were being shielded, right? This is also another problem that once or whenever something like this happens, right, their media are quick to announce that, it was unknown gunmen, mischaracterization. But fair enough, for those who are very much versed in the happenings in the eastern part of Nigeria, and those who get to actually be honest as well, right? They will continue to like point these abnormalities out, and those who are using their own positions for cover up. So what happened in Anambra? A court war, right? Something they said has been going on for a while. However, until the tragedy that took place last weekend. A multi kind of like planned attacks, which also targeted a church. Let me say the name of that church in Lilu, by the way. St. Andrew's Anglican Church, Isiokwe, in Lilu community, right? Ihiala local government area of Anambra State. So the news then was that the pastor, should I say the head of the church, his wife, and then others were killed. But first, the church, but that wasn't the only place the attack took place. They also went to another part of the same area where it's called the Afo Nofia community, so to say, right? And then another 4 people got killed there. A court war, right? Up to this moment, there's not a single arrest so far, right? But we're going to start with that. Let's start with the church attack. That was reported earlier. That was reported last night in Lilu, put it that way.
Sir, may we know while you are here this afternoon, what's the purpose of your coming to?
Now, when you start why these people supposed to back to the point. And they're all having
with this one, we have lost two vehicles now, and a machine, motorcycles. This is the pastor's house. I was burned down and razed to ashes. And I still think that the car also burned down. Oh, Jesus. This is the pastor's car. Burned down. Ukochukwu's car. Burned to ashes and building. That's it. It's quite unfortunate that at this time in our community, when we are trying to see that we gain back our community, things like this are happening. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite very, very unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. It's the compound.
So here is my own kind of like argument. Most of the time when these attacks are taking place, I would expect there will be some SOS, save our soul messages sent out, probably to the next community or to the next town, where they themselves could raise like sort of like an awareness where the security agents will at least end up engaging the criminals. But when you look at all these attacks, when you look at all of these things, how they happen, right? Apart from the fact that some said most of these attacks happens in, remotest of the remotest communities, right? However, you realize that most of these attacks actually last so long, for hours. And they do them with so much impunity. Like there's no one challenging them. There was no counter force coming after them because they're not expecting one, right? So court war. You know, these days, right, most of those who are holding political offices in Nigeria, either by appointment or by election, right? We've had many of them who are like members of all these court groups, and they give cover to so many of them. So when that incident happened, right, the first media, what was like a media saturation at the time was that unknown gunmen, characterizing it in that way. And every time they say unknown gunmen, is to shield the real criminals, right? Because they know that unknown gunmen at that point, you have been psychologically, kind of like a programmed to believe that unknown gunmen simply means it must be IPOB. But behind that, that's what I meant by the mischaracterization, which is like giving cover to the real criminals. Do you get me now? Give cover to the real criminals to continue to perpetrate the crime while their media mischaracterized it. So the police came out and said, well, this is actually a court war between these two court groups. And they have been at it now for more than a week. Some are saying that they've been at it now for years anyway. But the violent part of it that is now erupting, right, is basically something that started like a week ago. Their police said that. Other eyewitnesses at the second attack, like second scene of attack. This is not the this one is not the what do you call the Lilu Isiokwe attack now, right? But another place in the same area, so to say, not like the church now, but another place. And sadly, most of their victims, or not even most, all of their victims are innocent people that just got caught in their crossfire. So, but no arrest is made. Like many like that. Because when you go back on and start digging, you realize that the perpetrators have their own backers who are indeed, in government. It's sad, right? But when you start linking it up, you get what I mean. Then it all go back to the same set of people who have access to all these weapons. No investigation or nothing. It's similar to the kidnapping of school children, which they have now normalized, especially in the last 10 years of Nigeria. So to me, I'm always like, when people get kidnapped, for example, not even the school children now, when people get kidnapped all over the country, you get those who come out to tell you the stories. They will tell you those who kidnapped them, sir, who were kidnapped by this Fulani terrorist, or were kidnapped by this Yoruba kidnappers, terrorists. They will tell you. And I would expect that there's something called debrief or debriefing that they call it, where after the incident of abduction or kidnapping, whether it is mass abduction or singular abduction, right? So I would expect that whether ransom was paid or they were rescued and the kidnappers were kind of like captured or killed, right? I would expect something like the brief, where the victims are they're sat down and questioned in such a way to have the details of their experience. I don't think that's the same in Nigeria. So few of them will tell us their stories on social media, right? And then you're like, this data was supposed to be with the government that would then know that, okay, the characters, the survivors of this terrorism or this abduction, right? This was their own experience. So that's how you're going to then trace what is called a pattern, right? And then you can build your counter-terrorism, whatever, on that. But no. They are the same people that will tell you that they rescued school children or they rescued, abducted the people. And you're like, rescue or negotiated their release. That's kind of like two different things, right? If you rescue them, that means the perpetrators, their kidnappers, have either been killed or captured to face justice. But nobody talks about the kidnappers anymore. Politicians have taken over the whole thing that those who are security experts that are supposed to actually investigate crime to prevent reoccurrence of that. They went to Lilu, right? Attacked the church, burned the properties, burned their cars, and then they killed the pastor, killed his wife, went into town again and killed another 4 people. That's crime. That those places are crime scene. So the security agents by then should have actually started, speaking to the eyewitnesses and picking up all the evidences that could help them, right? Link some of these, incidents, link them together, build what could be the pattern, and then go after them genuinely. But that would be me watching too much, war film, the investigative series, you will say. But it's a common sense thing because in real life, these guys are trained to do this. But the problem is that the politicians who are mostly corrupt and criminal, right, have kind of usurped the supposed constitution, right, or the constitutional power given to the same security guys or security agents. Now they dominate the whole thing, they direct it, and everybody's in this mess of speculation. And the criminals, the real criminals, they get away with it because nobody is actually looking for them. There's this one reported from a road in Enugu. This is a pure case of armed robbery, you will say, right? Now, we barely talk about that too. Different kind of criminality going on, right? Different segment of your security agencies or what have you were actually established and paid to do this particular job. But no, everyone is probably drowned in the hunt for the attention for different things than the real job that they are meant to really do. Security agents. Now, nobody really probably talks about the armed robbery or armed robbers and what they still do. I don't think we really talk much about that anymore. Because right now, if you are driving on the Nigerian road, right, and you suddenly hear, bah, boom, bah, there's a chance that you'll be praying that they should be armed robbers and not be kidnappers. That's the situation we found ourselves. But yeah, this happened.
Abraham, robbery case. What's today's date? 6th. Video everybody. Madam, are you hot? Cover this side. Everything. Video everything is on. Video every video. Where are you? Just on in town. You also gonna come. Okay, sir. Cover from the beginning to the end. You do this thing very well, Abraham. You do this thing very well.
Okay. These people are coming out from inside bush. The people they attacked. They are coming out inside bush. See, this person is down. Oga, Alpha, are you okay? Huh? You are not okay. As they block the road, as they block, they take their time and block everywhere.
This people waste time, Ghana.
You see road block. Oh, this man now. About this man in Roshisha.
Are you sure? No.
Oh, this man in Roshisha. Here. About Roshisha, this man.
The whole convoy that is already stopped at the port.
So I was I say now.
So the story was that they were lucky enough. Yeah, they still got attacked. Initially, the impression was that some criminals mounted roadblocks and they suspected that they would be kidnappers. However, they ended up just robbing them and injuring them. From what we gathered from that happened 2 nights ago. Okay, so in Imo State, the statements of the commissioner of police, another commissioner in the government of Oples Ozodin Joe, addressed the press on their discovery of a supposed mortuary where organs of the corpses, unidentified corpses, hundreds, they call them, hundreds of them. The atrocities of the last 6 years, right? Proudly sponsored by the criminal politicians in that state as well. Miami has led to this. It's a discovery. And they are personally shocked, Watch this.
Sir, may we know while you are here this afternoon, what's the purpose of your coming to this place?
Okay, good afternoon, members of the press. We received an intelligence report that unregistered mortuary is being discovered in this vicinity. His Excellency delegated the Commissioner for Health, the local government chairperson of Ungopala. Myself, I came to represent the Inspector General of Police. We visited this place. We saw scattered corpses, mutilated corpses in this environment. What we have seen, the corpses that we discovered are more than hundreds. And the owner of the mortuary is on the run. We sent for him, he refused to come. And severally, we mounted surveillance whether we'll be able to get him. He's on the run. And by the information we gathered, they used this place in dumping the corpses of what they call organs harvest. Organs harvest. And we are appealing on members of the public, whoever that have corpse here, to come forward, because His Excellency wants to unveil who and who are running this unauthorized mortuary. Because it's been in existing, it's now that we discover it, and by His grace, we arrest the suspects, and he's going to face the full wrath of the law. Thank you.
But are you by this as declaring him wanted?
We have already declared him wanted. He's on the road. You do not see anybody here. And this health hazard, and by his grace, the Commissioner of Health is here, the pathology is here. We may soon make a mass burial. Okay. Because it's constituting health hazard of this village.
So why you do that? Are you going to seal up this environment?
I think the Excellency want to even destroy the whole facility after obtaining legal order.
Okay, let's speak to the Commissioner for Health.
Good afternoon, members of the press. We came here today, and I'm here. My name is Dr. Chioma Egu, the Commissioner for Health, Imo State, and I'm here on the instance of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Imo State, to come and inspect the facility that the police has reported, to be of suspicious activities, said to be a mortuary. We have checked our records and we've not seen this place registered or any up-to-date registration of this facility in Ministry of Health. So we've come here to inspect, and we found a lot of hundreds of dead bodies, decomposed, not taken care of. There's nothing to show that this place is a mortuary. There's nothing happening here, or even if you look at the corpses, there's nothing to show that there's any way they were trying to preserve them.
Sir, may we know while you are
just cadavers, I'll be able to record that the human cadaver, the cadaver. That is what they have in there. And if you have been a regular on Mayegun's Diary Politico, right, you possibly would have watched some of the sessions where the victims of the police or the security profiling in the eastern part of Nigeria. Yeah, with this series on that, the survivors who came out to talk about their experience at the Tiger base in Owerri. And let's agree that maybe the government, they are not aware of such a illegal mortuary operating, within the states. Let's kind of give them the benefit of the doubt, which obviously is rubbish, by the way. But yeah, we have had people who have said they watch every day as they take people killed, either through torture, starvation, or every other thing, or even like through like shooting and killing them, or others that they harvested their organs live while they are still alive. All these horrible, horrible stories, they are on social media. They've been there for years now. But what they really kind of like paid attention enough to open a probe into their activity, or activities rather. But now there's a discovered illegal mortuary with hundreds of corpses, right? Anyway, let's move a bit forward from Anambra and stop by a little bit, somebody actually said something earlier about when I was describing what I thought should be a way that the security agents actually gather their intelligence and then build their case against a set of, gang or a group of criminals, right? And somebody said, you are talking about Nigeria. But they'll do it if, for example, right, if the wife of a politician is kidnapped, you will understand that Nigerian police, they are actually really good at their job. If any of them comes under any form of, attack, so to say, they will track and work like what the police should actually be like. But no, now let's leave that. We all know that the entire insecurity going on in Nigeria, right, is the creation of these rogues, right? Intentionally, and others like due to their actions, by the way, right? Which can also be like intentionally too, the entire problems. And the way they have been handling some of these issues, which have now become this so big, huge now, right? Also will tell you their own culpability in all of it. How do you go on and rescue kidnapped school children? And there is not a single terrorist, right, in custody, not a single one. How do you face the people and say that children were taken from their schools into the forest? I want to believe into the forest for nearly 2 weeks, 315 school children. And then you started giving us a batch by batch. First, they said, 50 children escaped. It was not 49, it wasn't 51, just 50. Then after that, they said, they've rescued 11. Oh, all right. So 11, what about their kidnappers? And also, what about the rest? No, they are still working. They are using intelligence to get them. So to me, it's like the kidnappers are like dropping the children and taking the rest away, dropping some and taking the rest away. That's the impression they are giving. 315 school children were taken from their school in Papiri, Niger State. And since then, they have made it not a national issue. They have played it down so well that even Nigerians, possibly many Nigerians, don't even really care, because they have no information to make them care. The government ensure that the media never really push it, right? Because they are doing it in at their own pace. We are talking to the kidnappers. We are tracking them. We are sure you get. But yeah, today they said another 100 school children have been rescued. Yeah, and there is no kidnapper in custody. So we're counting the numbers. That will bring everything down to 154 left. Yeah, 154 after this 100. Now let's take a look at the rescued 100 school children from Niger State as they were delivered there to Bago, their governor, in their government house this afternoon.
Don't allow them to follow. Can we move back? Can we move back, please? Hey, look.
So we are happy that the children are back, but what we are not happy, I hope I can use that that compound now, the way to the column, and say we, those of us that continue to question the logic behind this kidnapping, as well as the catch and release idea of the politicians, that in my own opinion hasn't helped at all whatsoever. So how do you go into the den of a terrorist in your country who took children, and you're not really enraged enough that you started taking them back in batches? So I want to understand the logic behind that. Okay, so the terrorists are smiling to the bank. That is my own belief. The terrorists that we have seen publicly, in a peace meeting with the supposed government officials, security agents. So now, what do we know that they are doing behind the scene? What kind of deals are they making with these guys? They're not telling us. And yeah, that's our own worry. Their governor, in their usual way, trying to praise this achievement. How is this an achievement when the perpetrators are actually smiling to the bank?
Your Excellency, Deputy Governor of Niger State, distinguished senators and president, members of the House of Representatives, our traditional rulers here present, sons here present, our brothers from Khan, they are here, the parents of these children here too, members of my cabinet, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Today is fundamental and very, very important.
Can we step back,
for redefining the history of this state. I want to thank Mr. President for giving us all the necessary input to rescue these children. I want to thank the NSA and every other person that has been responsible in the recovery of these children. I want to thank development partners here, the UNICEF and others also. Thank you all. And for those that have been praying, continue to pray. We wish to recover the remaining students that are still in captivity, and by the grace of God, in a very short time from now, we're going to record them, inshallah. I want to reassure parents and guardians of these children that they will be safely delivered to them very, very soon. We have called on medical health workers to come and look at them, and be checked properly, and before taking them back to the parents. We are working closely with Khan to make sure that they are safely returned back home. Let me thank you, everybody, for staying this just to receive this people. It's very, very important that we all stay here to visit them. And I'm emotionally broken down because I saw their sizes, I saw their ages, you know, but it's not for today. Thank you, God bless you.
I'm done. What are you not done?
Nuisance, Lele.
Together, the language, we rescued these children. We want to thank the president, the NSA, for giving us all the necessary resources to rescue these children. And we want to appeal to the parents of these children that we are still working on rescuing the rest of the children. Rescue, 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 rescue. Do you understand how deceitful that is? 2 parents of these children have already died. There's a man that died because 3 of his own children were among the kidnapped school children. He couldn't take it. The government won't really talk to them. Government barred them from speaking to the media. However, they were pretty much like left in the limbo. So 2 died. Another woman who lost her husband is the wife of the teacher that was said tried to prevent them from taking the children, and then he was killed. So justice in this sense is to bring the perpetrators to book. Do you understand? Not use your offices and all of that to pay the terrorists and then bring the cameras on and start shining all these flashes on the faces of the children, right? That we have rescued them. We will have them checked. What are they going to check on them? They will check if they have wound, right? They will check if, they will check at their, their vitals, right? And that's it. For children subjected to that horrible, harrowing experience until it happens again. And then it happens again. So currently, it seemed that Tinubu and his gang are convinced themselves that with this latest help coming from the United States in the fight against terrorists in Nigeria, because this past few days, we have also seen the flight tracking of some of these American unmanned aircraft or these drones, and some of them manned as well, flying over some strategic locations across Nigeria. We saw what their trips to the Lake Chad, the northeast, Borno, and others, right? I've also seen their survey or their spice or tracking of the southwest region of Nigeria. Do you get me now? However, something happened yesterday, and that was the coup that failed in Benin Republic. So we heard that Nigeria sent aircraft, and later they kind of like returned back to Nigeria. But it became obvious that, yeah, the intervention of Nigeria actually saved Talon yesterday, because from what we later gathered, right, it wasn't just a Talon that have been like locked down by the coupists. There were some other generals that were already pretty much like locked down until Nigeria's signal, or what do you call it, the Nigerian signal came. That was more or less like what Nigeria wanted to do with Niger Republic in 2023, if you remember. That was what Tinubu wanted to do. So he managed to do that in Benin Republic yesterday. That some of the supposed military formation of Benin Republic were kind of like received some bombings. Nigeria bombed some places in Benin Republic yesterday. Yeah, Nigeria did. And in fact, there were clips of, I don't know, maybe they are soldiers or so shooting at the Nigerian fighter jets because they took several trips to Benin Republic in averting the coup. There are many stories surrounding that, by the way, but that's not the reason why I'm sharing this. So a lot of people are beginning to now speak out and say, if Nigeria had all this, like these fighter jets and all of that, how come it's been so difficult to use them in Nigeria? The Super Tucano jets that Boko Haram ordered during the Donald Trump's first term, they've delivered them all. You understand? Yeah, there was this part of the contract on that the Super Tucano jets that they must never use the Super Tucano jets in the eastern part of Nigeria without authorization from America. Sounds crazy, yeah? Yeah, it's part of the deal. I don't know how they came by that. So that was why somehow the Super Tucano jet became almost redundant. You heard the order they took out $1 billion from the excess crude account in 2019 and took Boko Haram to America to see Donald Trump. And then they spent just about $435 million. The rest of the money, we don't know what happened to it. But yeah, America delivered the Super Tucano jets a few years after. But you feel like, where is the Super Tucano jet? How come the terrorists in Sambisa, this and that? Then you heard the Minister of Defense, Badaruda, resigned when he told us that bomb cannot penetrate Sambisa forest. So people are now asking, if Nigeria have all these, all these, fighter jets and all that, how come they've never used them like they should? Here you get now, or is the insecurity in Nigeria, the terrorism in Nigeria, is that not supposed to be a national emergency? If Nigeria could invest this much on the neighboring country to protect their democracy, in Koto, protects their democracy. This was kind of like the clips. The last part of this video, right, was taken from Cotonou, Benin Republic capital, I believe yesterday, where people were shooting at Nigerian fighter jets inside Cotonou like a civil war. Things have somehow like calmed down now from the report we have now, like it's under control. You will say that Talon and the government, they've taken back the country thanks to Nigeria and the control of the airspace. Yeah, Porto Novo. So Porto Novo is the country's capital, but Cotonou seems to be their commercial capital. Like you have Lagos and then you have Abuja. Put it that way. Yeah, Nigeria's got this massive, sky power that, yeah, you may say Nigeria may not be at par with some kind of like other country when it comes to their own war weapons and all that. When it comes to controlling the air, Nigeria controls the airspace. That's how much power Nigeria have, in case if you don't know. Nigeria controls the airspace to as far as Gambia. If something is going on in Ghana now, Nigeria, right, as the super regional, where have you? Well, I don't know if they still have that influence anyway. Well, under the cover of the ECOWAS, Nigeria will take over the airspace of Ghana. But that's a bit far. Just take a look at what happened during the Yaya Jammeh's time in the Gambia. For some of you who can probably remember that era when Yaya Jammeh had to like leave. Boko Haram was your president then. Yeah, I got to that stage. They had to take over the airspace of Gambia until Yaya Jammeh left Gambia, just so you know. So when you now take a look at all of that, including the historical, achievement of the Nigerian military, the Nigerian Air Force outside Nigeria when it comes to like bringing what they call the peace to some of the troubled countries in Africa, even beyond. They've got that track record. Then how come that same country has found it so impossible? They are almost impossible to defeat terrorists, ragtag terrorists in their bush, in their forest. We all know why. But I bet other Africans are just wondering, like, is that country so poor? No, maybe poor, yeah. But Nigeria is a country that has invested so much in the military, than majority of African countries except South Africa, Egypt, and maybe a few others. You understand what I mean? So how come the country looks so powerless? Yeah, that is where the compromise, the infiltration of a system, for years of infiltration of the system. That's what that brings up. We will look so big, but you'll be like a big for nothing, a sleeping giant. You get what I mean? I think this is their Super Tucano jet. This one. No, that's not Super Tucano. It's got his name on it. And
Kids were laughing in my classes while I was scheming for the math. Who do you think you are? Think about being a big star. Now I'm smiling from the stage while you were crying in the motion.
all of that, most of the time is like when you go to the Nigerian Air Force social media pages, right? Sometimes you just feel like all these toys, they're just using them to make content for social media. Because if they are really doing their job as they should, I mean, come on. The terrorists, as you see them, they would dare not. Listen to this. So there's a bigger military force up north after Libya. You feel me now, where you have Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, and other places. The terrorists, according to them, after they removed Gaddafi, the terrorists didn't move up north so that they could go on and meet this kind of military. Have you seen the fence that Egypt built between them and supposed Gaza also? Have you seen that fence? Anyway, the terrorists didn't move up. They moved down south. They did not fear Nigeria. that we need to be careful. There's another big military force in that place called Nigeria. And they understand that if the terrorists should have, Algeria as well, God bless you, if the terrorists should have upper hand in the Sahel, Nigeria will be next. So therefore, Nigeria will play a big brother and get rid of the terrorists in that Sahel before they even enter Nigeria border. But Nigeria appears so like big militarily. But when you begin to now scrutinize it, you now realize that how come the people who crafted this country are so narrow-minded, so selfish? Let me point some few things out for you. Nigeria's population is believed, even though there is no evidence, so it is believed to be over 200 million people. That's a lot. Okay. So how do you protect 200 million people against internal and external aggression? You need a reliable military, right? Do you know that if they combined all of Nigeria military, the Air Force, so the Army, the Navy, what else? Every other one's like, if you combine all of them, they will tell you that the active military men in Nigeria today, the active is 180,000. Me, where they believe say Nigeria military will have like about 700,000, 800,000 soldiers. You get, that's what I used to believe. Oh, that's part of what that's what kind of like made me believe that they lied a lot to us, honestly. How can you have 80,000? Now you will see countries will have 500,000 active military force. And then they will have a reserve of, let's say, 2 million. That reserve is just that in case of emergency, they'll be drawing from them. You as a young person in that country, you know that if anything should happen, you go to war, they will draft you. But how do you use 180,000 to protect 200 million people? So Nigeria is poor. The 180,000 are also more or less like maybe half of them are providing private security for politicians and VIPs. So Nigeria is so short-staffed, and it was deliberate. Do you understand? So if I ask 10 Nigerians, now if you put 10 Nigerians together and you ask them, how many of you here are military reserves? Have you ever heard that before, by the way? Because it exists. You understand? It does. It exists, right? So if you put 10 Nigerians together and say, if you are a military reserve, raise up your hand. I can bet with everything I have that you won't see up to 3 people. No, you won't see up to 2 people gone. Let's say you see 2 of them that will say 2. Guess what? Even the 2 will be surprised that, okay, you are also in the reserve. So for a country that is battling this kind of insecurity, you will think the corruption in the military would have been like completely wiped out, so that there will be enough resources channeled towards like recruiting people and paying them well. Nigerian police, they have the entire Nigeria police force, active police force in Nigeria. They are not up to 200,000. Protecting 200 million people. It's crazy. And yet, when you see that bigger country, there are those who have all this data. And that's why they just laugh. Because number one, let's take the terrorist, for example. The terrorist understands this more than you and me, that Nigeria lacks the adequate resources to actually tackle them. That is why you will see some of these terrorists controlling vast area of lands, communities, and all that. And you'll be wondering, like, how is that easy? Like me, I can't just go to anywhere and chase people out of the place and start living there in the southern part of Nigeria. Then you will realize that there are those who knows where and where the resources of Nigeria will never reach. And in fact, they will not be interested in touching them. So they will go that far. There are those who are aware of that. Anyway, so my point here is that a country that is big like Nigeria, that should be militarily like also big, right? Who have that so much like bigness, right? To stop, what do you call it? To stop a coup in the neighboring country. Such countries should be able to protect our own people, not to become so vulnerable like we have become right now, that everybody's feeling it. So Nigeria be like, when it comes to defending Nigerians, they're like, oh, this big for nothing, big brother, right? Somehow running into the fire, pretending to want to go and fight for you. Say, Baba, you know cutlass, so.
Bro, so you know cutlass. Bro, fall back, you know. Get the cutlass, fall back.
Bros, you know cutlass, so bros come back over, you know cutlass, so you really think bros won't go fight? Just pretending to want to just lead all of them fight. Say bros, go cutlass, so. In northern part of Nigeria, right? There is no single border. There is no single border in northern part of Nigeria, and that is deliberate. You feel me? A guy filmed this. He was crossing from one country into Tanzania. Yeah, land border. We do have that in the southwest of Nigeria, and I think you do have that also in the southeast or so of Nigeria, where you have this Nigerian border entrance. Tell me. For me, I know that of Seme. There's Seme border. There's a Diroko. There is another one. Like, they are practically like border postal. Here you get. I don't think any of them look much like this in northern part of Nigeria. But here is what the border of Tanzania looks like. There is nothing like that in northern part of Nigeria, and you can't say you are fighting terrorism or going to like stop the influx of a terrorist when you can't even build an ordinary, border where people who goes in or comes out of your country are checked, scrutinized to some extent, And they have already, Musa is the minister now, by the way, and he's already telling us that it would make sense if Nigeria's border from northern part of Nigeria is completely fenced, in order to fence the terrorists out there, and those ones who are left in the country can be swept and cleaned out. I hope he is able to do that. So Are Onoka Kamfo, the generalismo of Yoruba army, is saying, you see, if it is the state police that Tinubu manages to at least achieve, he is very confident that this issue of insecurity and the rest of that would end, like it will disappear. So he's pretty much relying on, the law that will create or empower the local security, whatever they want to call them, to be able to confront the challenging insecurity in different vicinity, different region. So his belief is that that would probably facilitate the end or an end to this terrorism. Iba Gani Adams. And yeah, I kind of have an idea of what he's referring to, though, because they say all security is local. Yeah, every security or something like that is local. So let the locals protect their localities. And if you empower them constitutionally, armed and all that, but that may change the game. That is what Iba Gani Adams is saying here. Let's hear it.
Agnes family. Firstly, my name is Iba Gani Adams, not former Chief Gani Adams. Where I totally agree with the Southern governors on the basis of we need state police urgently. And state police is a content, one of the content of true federalism. And at the same time, I commend the Southwest governor because they have already taken a position earlier before the Southern governors. Anybody who loves this country will not disagree on state police on the situation we have. Some people always have an opinion that the government will misuse state police against their political opponents. But my own thought is that let us talk about the protection of life and property first, which is the first responsibility of any government. And when you are talking about partisan politics, that's secondary aspect of life and governance. We are talking of life and property to be protected by the government, who are constituted authorities. And the major factors and the major impediments we always have about security is that the security was not recruited from their state and their community, even in their local governments. And the issue of governance always lies first on locality, from the community, local government, states, and the federal. If the people of the community did not have the opportunity to police and secure their communities, bringing someone who is not familiar with the community to come and secure that community, it will be very difficult. I'm from Marigidi, Akoko in Ondo State. We know our history very well. We know the background of the headquarters in our communities. And we know the family that reside there for about 3 generations. So definitely we have an information of some areas and some people who have criminal background. If anything happens in that community, we know how to trace the beginning of that issue. And when we know our forests, we know when the intruders came into our forests. And from that angle, people from community can be recruited to be part of state police. And in the country that have 3 tiers of government, there is no way you can run that country with only one structure of policing.
Because the normal thing in Yoruba land that somebody like myself is brought up with is that it takes a community to raise a child. And if a child ended up bad, the community will kind of like identify the reason, if it's the parent or if it's just the child. So if things go south, there are people within the community that can tell you the first, line of call, the first suspects. That's why they say every security should be local. There is a man in Ekiti. An example, by the way. So there is a man, there is an Oba in Ekiti. I don't know if I should call him Elekpe of Ekiti or Elekpe of Ekiti because he is accused by his community a few months back that, he's been at the loggerheads with them to the point that he's been cursing them, the youth, placing curses on them, like, not literally, like he's placing curses on them. And they believe that his curses is affecting them. And therefore, they don't want him as their king anymore. That was a few months back. But yesterday, they took a bit of an action, like an extra step, and they actually banished the king from the community or the town, their own king. That's the kind of the Yoruba upbringing that I was taught. You know, I was one of the best Yoruba language students in my secondary school days, seriously. So where you have to read a lot, culture, tradition, trade, people, language, and all of that stuff, right? So we're told that a king in Yoruba culture, in the Yoruba tradition, a king is called Alashe Keji Orisha, meaning that after the gods is the king, and is the only one next to the gods. So therefore, you can't ask him, you can't question him, you can't challenge the king. But that same Yoruba tradition also added that the same king must also act kingly. He must have the interest of his own people at heart every now and then. His breathing, his living, his sleeping, his everything must be about his people. Once he begins to go against them, and the community or the town decided that they have had enough of him, right? What will happen next is he will be advised to go and open calabash. That's to tell you that somebody could attain the most powerful position and become a king in Yoruba land. Everybody is prostrating. Everyone is walking, you know, like that. They respect him and all that. And at the same time, if he should be found to be having what they call the dereliction of a duty, and he's also working against the interest of his own people, the entire community that showed him love, shared him, praised him, they will give him 7 days to commit suicide. That's our tradition. And if he failed to, then it will now lead to a proper war. And this time around, he will be killed until he's killed. Do you get what I mean? So that is but to these days, you have criminals, robbers, selling lands, and they are like land grabbers. They have become so distant from this noble tradition, noble culture, Yoruba, that today they are most of the people that the world sees and say, wow, man, this used to be, that used to be. And some of us actually, we are ashamed of how things have eventually turned out. But to the Ekwekiti people, this is how they treated their king, that they called Elekwe of Ekwe.
ọ̀rọ̀ bá iṣẹ́ yìí tún mọ̀ ní. ọ̀rọ̀ bá iṣẹ́ yìí tún mọ̀ ní. ìdánwò lé o. ṣàbẹ̀ ní kò bá jáde lórí yó. bọ́ọ̀lù ètò lọ bí ilé ní ilé ẹgbẹ́ tí ní ìlà ọ̀kẹ́ ìṣòro ti fi lórí ẹ̀dùnmọ́ ní ọ̀nà tó yá. Ebe pati ni bisu ya, ẹ̀yin alẹ́jà ló bàmọ́ ẹ bọ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́kẹ̀ wà dàbà ajá inú ìwé tó ń gbó, yóò lè bu ni jẹ, láti bu ni jẹ báyìí. Kí alàgbé ìgbẹ́jọ́ kọ̀ ẹ̀ tó àjọ.
The name of Dioba is Ayodeji Williams Adeshoye. He was accused of using afoshe. You know that thing, afoshe? Commander be, yeah, afoshe. He's using it on his subjects. And you could hear one of them saying that they have been protesting that they should remove him, they should remove him. He called them dogs, like they called them barking dogs. So now, who is now barking dogs now? Now you can see that the barking dog has now bite you. So yes, they were asking government to dethrone him, and if they won't dethrone him, they chased him out of his palace, banish him from the community. So right now, the Oba is going to be like going to court or go to the governor, so that the politicians will return him back to the same community that rejected him to continue to be their king. So yeah, that's the kind of Yoruba culture and tradition that I was raised and trained to believe when I grew up. That is exactly what the society will be like all about, until I realized that most of those things have become so bastardized, you know, that the supposed traditional, the protectors of the traditional stools in Yoruba land have become mostly betrayers. And it's a shame, as you are seeing them desecrate that kind of like, you know, it's a shame. That wasn't how I envisaged it when I was a little boy. I thought it was like, you know, but there's so many things that we're lied to. Anyway, that's just a one. And here is another one. The Ooni of Ife is currently celebrating 10 years of being crowned the Ooni of Ife. Okay, so in that celebration, he decided to give a title to Rat, Remi Ahmed Tinubu. So Rat, as a special mother of the day, Yeye something something of Odua. That's what they gave him. Yeye something something Odua, of the Odua people. And they also invited Governor Adedansa, yeah, Osun governor, because Ile-Ife is in Osun State. So then the drama ensued. First, when Adedansa was coming in, as usual, you know, he's like a jolly good fellow, right? So it was like, Imole, Imole, Imole. And if you should by any means play any music there, that's what you're going to get next. So all this drama, kind of, I don't know how much that endears him to is a supporter somehow, right? But it all started like this before the real drama. Everything was going well. Mole, authority, leave the road. The land is your authority. Fine. Remi Werepe arrived in a chariot, not fire chariot, like in a chariot, I think. You know that carriage where they normally use carry queen, the gold one like that. That was where the Yeyelua, yeah, that's the title. Yeyelua of Odua land. So everybody was like, all the guests seated and all that. So I don't know why they wanted the dancing governor to address them, right? I don't know what happened, right? So the guy got to the podium and he started singing. He was there to deliver a speech. So he started singing. I mean, like, I think it was kind of like embarrassing, right? But that is not as embarrassing as when Remy Werepe stood up. I said, Mark, by microphone, yeah, you have 5 minutes to deliver your speech. That is the number one of Oshun. The number one, that's your numero uno in Oshun State. I mean, Remy is just the wife of your president, okay? So why should that happen? Right? But here, between the two of them, Remy.
Which kind
I know some of you have seen the video, right? You've seen it before, anyway. What's going on? Here you get. Why was he singing? Like, he actually was there for about 2 or more minutes, so just singing. For person will be the chief priest to Odudua, or he was the chief priest to Odudua. So the entire place is a shrine. So I like kilo happen now. Like, so I think people are already saying, what waiting be all this now? I wouldn't be, and it's like the time when you see him like for no reason, right? Once they want him to dance, right? And as a government, we just like with that big, like that, like a kilo shima, man, Austrian people anyway. So, but they claim that it's probably the best that happened to them. And no matter what anyone says, okay, why? That's what he likes to do to make himself happy. But yeah, when it is the business or serious business of governance, not be everything comes to triviality like that anyway. But yeah, let's also leave that. Okay, and a quick reminder, if you are still here with us, remember to please like the broadcast and then share the broadcast if you haven't already. Yesterday, it came to light that Werewike has reactivated his supporters or his base in River State to further usurp what should have been the Fulbara's privileges. So right now they have ignited their war again, but they are going in a different direction that is going to come faster than some people have, predicted or speculated. A few days ago, the speaker came up to challenge the governor of what is done with over 600 billion naira left by IBAS, the sole administrator, right? That's an open challenge. Then they went on to announce that they have left PDP and they are now members of APC. So today, we had all the local government chairmen, all of the councillors, they all came together under the aegis of Algon, okay, to endorse Tinubu for second term. But same day today, Fulbara himself was also spotted at the Asshole Rock with Tinubu. I don't know, maybe to go and remind him that they're about to start again. While it's about to start again, because it's already brewing. It's just going to be a matter of days, right? And also, Werewike inaugurated the caretaker committee for PDP inside his own house in Abuja yesterday, like now, the Turaki guys who did their own convention last month are being, well, they will be dragged to court anyway. So yeah, they are being kind of like deputized right now or factionalized right now by saying where we kill and the people is selected to be regarded as PDP's caretaker committee. Right, that will be another kind of next phase of the drama, right? But in Port Harcourt, when they all gathered to endorse Tinubu for second term, these were weakest men. Watch this.
And also publish on the streets of National. The Bible also says, "Send down the man needed with his ways, and you will see with kings." The people of Anambra call on the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu GCFR, to present himself for re-election 2027. The reason we are saying that is not because of the form of it. This is a man who tamed the Atlantic Ocean. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu tamed the Atlantic Ocean. What is today the Atlantic, where you see buildings right standing, was walls and ocean. And he tamed it while he was governor. Is there anything else he cannot do? Here is a man who, when he presented himself for election, even his own political party put obstacles on his way. You recall that they changed the currency of the naira. They changed the denomination of the naira. This is the only country that has two currencies, running Kariba. But during that period under review, they also made it impossible for people to have fuel, diesel, and so on. Yet, in all of that, God made him succeed and become president. Therefore, no man has done such a president. And all of the things he's doing, like the mayor of the capital city has said, the fight against group theft has resulted in enormous increase in allocations to both the state government and to the local government. So we will not be carried away by the shenanigans that we are seeing. People going to kidnap 5,000 students, 8,000 pupils from the school. That is not the issue. For us in Rivers State, we are urging him to present himself for re-election. And others have also mentioned appointments made. Our leader, the chief engineer, is also the director general of nursing. Yet that will be unfolded. So we have never had it so good. We therefore join others who have spoken to ask Mr. President to kindly present himself for re-election. Forget about the vote. Rivers State under the direction of Chief Ezewo Yezo Mike is in the back.
So in a nutshell, so they then put it to vote. For those are for the local government chairman. In that same room, they also have local government councillors who are also assembled to endorse call. So they put it to vote.
If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand.
Tell them, come on.
We shall stand.
On your Monday we shall stand. On your Monday, on your Monday, on your Monday we shall stand.
Having adopted this motion, on behalf of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, we will convey our message to our dear leader, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, to transmit same to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you and God bless us.
Thank you so much. Shall we remain standing for the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
So the same is expected to be replicated at least all over the country as you gear down to 2026, 2027. Aye, politicians, politics. Well, politics continues, they will say. And there is a young man who said he has this, knack for Wike. He admires him so much. He's a role model to him. So he decided to cycle from Gombe to Abuja to go and tell Wike this. But his experience, like many others, is not really like encouraging. His story.
Good morning, everyone. I hope your weekend is good, and I'm wishing you all the best. I am the young man who drove all the way from far Gombe State on a solo ride to show my solidarity to the Right Honorable Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. I did so based on the love I have for Wike, right from his time as a local government chairman down to chief of staff, governor, minister, then now still a minister at FCT. I was born and raised up in Port Harcourt, GRA Phase 2. I have known the time of Odili, Amechi, and him, Wike himself. In the history of Rivers State, no governor has developed Rivers State more than Wike, just as Wike is developing FCT. In the history of FCT, no minister has done what Wike has done in terms of development in Abuja. I have no connection of seeing the Honorable Minister. I made this decision myself, going to the media by inviting the TVC News to come and take the movement so that maybe through there the Honorable Minister can see that yes, he has someone who so much loved him. Wike is not being loved by only one person. A lot of people in the north love Wike, but the reality is that people doesn't have ways of seeing Wike, or people doesn't have people that will reach to Wike. So that's why a lot of people are afraid of even showing their love to Wike. My movement is quite healthy. Driving a bike 600 kilometers, it's 700 when you check it, 700 kilometers down from Gombe to Abuja is not an easy task. As someone in Port Harcourt, driving from Aba to Port Harcourt is not an easy task. Driving from Port Harcourt to Akwa Ibom is not an easy task. Driving from Port Harcourt to Bayelsa is not an easy task. Not to talk of passing almost 4 states down to Abuja. It's not an easy task. I'm not here to tarnish the image of the Honorable Minister. But believe me, I'm very sad. I'm very disappointed. I have no regret of what I did because I showed love to the person I love. But frankly speaking, people around the Honorable Minister are not being nice like the way the Honorable Minister is. Frankly speaking, the video being posted by Port Harcourt social media force, Port Harcourt social media, I think social something like that. These videos, last week Saturday was making it 2 weeks that I've been in Abuja. I came down to the Honorable Minister's house to talk to the security men. At least, to be frank with you, they made me regret why I even started doing so. I could not sleep, keep on driving. I was even attacked in one of the states where the opposition of the Honorable Minister, not like APC, no, is a PDP governor, but I was attacked. If not by the grace of God and by the grace of 2 men, elderly men that saved me, it could have been a story. I've been seeing your comments. Some of you have been praying, some of you have been praising me, some of you have been wishing me bad of kidnapping, calling me mental somebody. I'm not mental. I am not mental. This is like, you people are not used to this. In the northern part, someone will even climb marks. If you know marks, somebody will climb up marks, trying to jump down in the name of love or sacrifice of somebody. But I don't think in the south this is going on. That's why I've been stranded in Abuja. They doesn't know how I eat, how I sleep. The person who I tried to meet the media or aid to the Honorable Minister, everything went in vain. So I have no option. I cannot drive back to Gombe State again. My life is at risk because I know what I faced as I was coming. I don't want to face the same thing as I'm going back. I have no option than to sell my right, to sell the bike, and either enter the public car and go back to my state. I feel very painful. I feel very sad. I cried last night for me to make such a sacrifice.
Tear gas him. They tear gas him. He fell. He fainted. He passed out. He passed out. 70 years old man. But when the
Yeah, may God forgive all of us if we have been honest. That's why I can't show my face like that. So we let you see the whole thing. It's gonna be like bucketing. So the guy was trying to tell us that he's got no mental problem. He loved Wike so much that he wanted to show him personally and tell him face to face that I love you so much. I've loved you since you were a local government chairman, and then you became a chief of staff, and you became a minister and a governor, and now you're a minister. I just thought I should, to show how much I love you, I will ride from Gombe, 700 kilometers to Abuja, and I will appreciate it if you would please honor this, my gesture, by welcoming me to your office. But that's pretty much better if he put it in writing, okay, and sent it to the Wike's office. And then you get a correspondence that says, oh, Kabiru, I got your letter. Oh, thank you very much for that gesture. But please, it is too risky. Do not embark on such a journey. But if you want to meet me, I can arrange for your transportation to Abuja, and I'll be honored to have you. That is how it's going to be for me in a reasonable climb. Abi? But no, Nigerians will go extreme. He even said in northern Nigeria, you don't know us, we can climb the mast, up, 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 and jump down because we love somebody. Jump down, quack. So you go jump down. And if you no die, you become crippled, disabled. They will come put you inside one truck, go into Lagos, Ebute Metta bus stop. You stay there at Ebute Metta, and that's it, because you lost somebody. That's crazy. You get? You embark on a journey that put your life at risk, for real. For a politician that you could actually go and look for his phone number, go and look for his address and write him. That's what normal people do. But it is just like Nigeria. You know what they normally do? They will think, you won't even do them. You know, do them for one politician. We say, somehow, people will still, his supporters will still reach out to you. You go to do them for Were Wike that says, if people are not wishing him bad or talking about him in a day, he will think something is wrong. He enjoys the attention. The gesture you are giving him, right? It's like people will see you like an enabler of Were Wike. People know they think. Peter Obi is averagely the most loved politician in that contraption right now. He's also the most hated, and you can know why they love him and why they hate him. But I don't know, maybe, no, he can't be the most hated. Kolu will be the most hated. But yeah, but you know that part of Peter Obi. You decide to go and cycle from Port Harcourt to Anambra, that you want to go and pay solidarity to Peter Obi. You will see Obi then that will ask you that, allow nobody send you. Because situation we did the country right now, for person who is what do you call it? Who is emotionally aware? They call it emotional intelligence, Abi. Yeah, you should be aware of what is going on around you before you make some certain decisions. People will tell you, say, you they mad? So do you think if they kidnap you now, Peter Obi should come and pay ransom? Now you go and feel like, say, well, this no make sense. So I don't want to go and get kidnapped though. Because people that you think will praise you in this situation that everybody is in the para mode. Watch this video. It is between two grown men. We don't know what led to their argument. They argued for like about 4 or 5 minutes. And towards the end of it, they just told themselves like, man, why are we acting like this? They became friends, and then they both agreed that, man, this country will make you mad. You know what I mean? Now, so embarking on such dangerous journey for politician, Baba, now extra mad. So he also said he sold his bike because he didn't want to take the risk again, and that broke his heart. Yeah, watch this.
You this afternoon.
I'm not body, but you can't do. You
what
can't
that
do
thing that
nothing.
is making you to that thing that is making you to behave. You are mentally drained.
To be handcuffed.
You are mentally drained. Look at you. That look like a Bello Turji or Shekau or the terrorists.
You are worse than them.
I think if I'm one, I will have blow you up in this car.
Conduct yourself. You
my friend. If I'm one, I will have finished you because you are not worthy of being a human being. Look at you.
I'm a human being sitting down here with you.
Look at this.
And if you don't know your limit, definitely you find
what
yourself.
What limit do you know? What do you know about
where
you? What
you belong,
psychiatric. What do you that is why I say you should have taken me to psychiatric.
If you don't keep quiet, you are likely to find yourself.
If I don't keep quiet, then what will happen? You take me to psychiatric.
Yes.
Look at this lunatic. You are talking to me anyhow.
Even passengers in the car, who is a lunatic.
Get away, you. Do you know how many people I deal with today?
Who are you? I significant, inconsequential.
Keep quiet, my friend. Keep quiet.
Who are you dealing with?
Allah, keep quiet.
My friend.
If you don't respect yourself, keep quiet. If you whatever you think you are, even if you are a military personnel or forceman, what is the rank in that forceman you are? You are a crazy human being. You talk to me like that. You are a stupid man. Talk to me like that. You are the empty person. Look at me very well. I don't look like one.
You look like one. As soon as I said,
I think both of us are mad because I can see that you are an elderly man and you are not respecting yourself. I'll give it to you from here to where we are going to.
No, not where we are going to. You did not try me where I'm going to. You find yourself.
Bros, if you try me, I will trace you to where you are and deal with you there seriously.
I will even give you my address.
Oh, I like a lie. If you try me, I will trace you. I swear to Almighty God, I will trace you. I give it to you. That thing you are looking for. If you have been trying people, you will succeed. If you come and meet somebody like me, guy, you better go and do sadaka. Go and keep offering in the church or in the mosque. Because me, I will delete you. I will eradicate you from this head.
You can't. You can't. This so one is can never say it. You can't.
Guy, ni na fika iskanci ai. Iskanci me ka sani? Kai so ne koi. Your age is nothing but number.
You, my friend, keep quiet.
Don't tell me, my friend. Don't call me a friend, my friend. Who is your friend?
Go to psychiatric hospital.
No, me I have certificate already. Naran said Allah, I fought war in different countries and I have the certificate, psychiatric certificate. So go back and tell federal government to give me, issued me another one again. Nakawasane. Look at this man. Talk to me anyhow. I am a battle-tested human being. I fought war, not one, not twice. Like I kada min magana banza.
Kai yaro ne baka gana.
Kai wani yaro ne ni za ka kalle kare min kallo ka ce min yaro.
The way you talk.
Who are
you? You are
who are you too? Are you more than a dead rat? Keep quiet, my friend.
You not talk.
Keep quiet, my friend.
Oh, keep quiet. Let's even see life. Go talk.
What life did you see? Do you see life? What life did you see? 200 Abi?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
What do you know about life? All your life, you cycled it. You doing Nasara State and you are keeping it here. Wannan mutum yana sai ya kaina da ranar nan ya haka daga taimako na ce musu kofar nan ba a bude yake ba shine nake faman fada cewa a wannan kofar ba a bude yake ba don Allah nan gaba ka kiyaye ba ko shine da how do you look like? Are you a jinnu? Are you a jinn?
I'm a jinn.
Are you a jinn?
Compared to you.
There is difference between jinnu and janus, my friend. If you don't go to school, let me tell you this one.
Did you go to school?
Do you know the meaning? No, I did not.
Did you go to school?
Do I look like somebody who have been in academic arena? So what are you trying to tell me?
You want to tell me school? Call me school.
No, I will have called
Call
you.
me school.
I will have called you.
Yes,
call you institution.
Yes, I'm an institution. Don't you know that? An institution, not it, please. I'm not somebody who just look at them motor.
Allah zai hada mu gobe ba mu sani ba fa. Na yi respecting ɗinka sosai amma kai baka gane ba. Kofan ka bude. Na ce masa baba kofan nan a bude fa. Nan gaba don Allah ka kiyaye ka kulle shi da kyau. What is my own fault there? Papa, ko na maka laifi ne za ka haife ni yayi. Ba za ka zo ka fara zuba min magana ba. In kuma ko wani damuwa ne, kana da wani bukatar wani kuɗi ne sai kai magana mu taimaka maka.
So he was telling Papa, you know, no, Papa say oh. Say you are lost. Papa don't say no. Say no, no. So there's no way. The talk was.
I'm sorry.
They finished it before you know. You started again. And Papa was like, I've heard what you said. So why are you?
I don't mean to hurt you.
It was just escalating.
Na ji kamar ka kira sunana ne da rai ce ai kai genius din ne da gaskiya ai.
Ce wallahi ta wuce.
Ni wallahi da wasa na shigo. I'm sorry.
Driver.
I'm sorry.
Laugh don't catch you.
You know say Nigeria problem too much for our head. Fuel money, transportation money. You go to market, you buy 5 naira, tomorrow will tell you 20 naira. Do you understand? Why would somebody have a calculation? You get plenty children, school fees and what time. Even if you are living in your own personal house. You this afternoon.
I'm not.
Reality. Those of you who actually enter public transportation in Nigeria, you understand that kind of scenario. Something that is nothing will just trigger people. And then before you know it, they are in this long rage. Because Nigerians are like walking time bomb, waiting to explode. In case if you don't understand that, a lot of people are already drowning, choking with a lot of things. Cost of living crisis, this bill, that bill, debt here and there. And everything just seemed like, you still have to find a way to ensure you don't end up in the hands of kidnappers. All of this mentally, You have no idea how this is messing with people's mental health. You have no idea. There is no government provision to say, man, this thing is beyond just physical now. It is mostly internal. You enter public transport. We say, sir, please shift. And you see somebody, they be like that. Say, sir, shift now. This place now for 3 people. Only you don't take about, 2 people's space. So shift. And they may just flare straight into the rage. And you then be wondering. Meanwhile, you have your own frustration that you are managing. Then before you know it, you that is a gentle person that barely talks. You get home and start narrating what happened today. Why part of your clothes is torn. They say, kilo happened, what happened? Now so, me, I know they fight. I say, now that's what we're wondering. They beat me today. All because I told somebody to shift. I don't know if he's a madman or anything. Just like that. That is the situation that a lot of people are currently probably dealing with. The economy, the security, and a lot of other things that people are dealing with. They have no one to talk to. They have nowhere to really get the help from. So those 2 gentlemen, whatever led to the argument, it got to a stage that they both realized it was the one at the back that actually started laughing that everybody is frustrated. And it's like, okay, I understand. No wala. That's when you're going to know that a lot of people, they craze. I have heard about a repentant terrorist, repentant Boko Haram. Baba, I have never seen or heard of repentant blackmailers. Lately, a lot of people have been, naming Patawale, the Minister of State for Defense, Nigeria. He's been fingered and people have been calling on Tinubu to look into him. That why is Patawale still there? He's hobnobbing with terrorists, he's paid them before, he's defended them a few times, and blah, 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 blah. And then from the blues, a group came out and they said they are repentant blackmailers, that they are those ones behind the rumor that Patawale supports terrorists.
Now, a group that identifies itself as repentant blackmailers has publicly apologized to the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, for circulating false information about him. Now, speaking to journalists, the members of the group admitted they had been paid to carry out the blackmail campaign. They said their decision to confess was driven by conscience, stressing that the minister did not offer them any incentive to retract their statements.
My name is Lucky. In a coordinated effort to target with a false narrative and deliberate information, we wish to state clearly and without any form of ambiguity that we were sponsored and guided in these activities. The total financial provision for this operation was above 500 million naira, deliberately allocated to recruit voices from across Nigeria. These include political commentators, social media influencers, conventional media platform, and notable public figures in Zamfara State. This apology comes from a place of genuine remorse and moral awakening. We also want to state publicly that we are ready to face any consequences.
To apologize publicly to the Minister for State Defense for all the blackmailing we were sponsored against him. We are seeking for his forgiveness.
Now, a group that identifies itself as repentant blackmailers has publicly apologized to the Minister.
Baba, explain Nigeria fine. If they explain Nigeria to you and you get her and you remain normal, they lie to you. Okay? Those ones look like people who came from Zamfara. Do you see them as Zamfara people? They go hire people from God knows all these guys. Me, I believe they're not from psychiatric home. If you pay attention to them and look at them very well, one of them look like one. repentant blackmailers. Talking about information that is public. And a group of lunatics put themselves together and said they are the ones. They hired them to be saying that. What are you talking about? That's how Nigeria has probably like have become. No thanks to this your criminal politicians. They don't want to address the real issue. They hire people. Crowd depends on what the agenda is without addressing the real problems. Rather, they will create different agendas around it. And it's like creating buffers for themselves. So at the end of the day, all of this probably will shield them enough that they can still stand strong despite all of these allegations. Because there won't be, there won't be like a centered kind of like a unanimous agreement that this must be done. Rather, they will keep creating all these distractions, repentant blackmailers, repentant praise singers, repentant this and that, all around it. And then they will tell you, my political enemies are behind it. But hey, we have all this evidence. You give them this, you give them that, you pay them this time around. You said so and so time. These were not about your political enemies. But no, they get away with it, unfortunately. Here is another one I want you to see just before we go, okay? It happened in Delta, where brides, Edafe, has something for us. It's about this housemaid who felt pretty much like underpaid and decided to rob her own boss, but not just robbed her. She did more. Watch this.
I am SP Edafe Bright, and this is Delta State Police Command. We are presently at the Special Anti-Kidnapping and Cybercrime Unit of Delta State Police Command. In Delta State, we always advise people to trust the process. Residents should trust the police. Whenever anything happens to you that borders on crime and criminality, don't keep it to yourself. Bring it to us. I think this is a proper example of a problem shared is a problem solved, not problem doubled. One of the commissioners in the state, in Delta State government, was having this young girl. She's about 19 years old, who was working for them, and she's been with them for over a year now. When they traveled, she went into the house, broke into their bedroom, ransacked everywhere, saw some dollars and took them, some nairas and took them, carried their laptops too. This is a new laptop. The said commissioner has an empowerment scheme where he uses POS and cash to empower Deltans. She went away with 2 of the POS. It didn't stop there. She took their phones. She had already flashed these phones. It still didn't end there. She carried, this one is the Rika. The Rika is what? It's tin tomato, abi? Tin tomato, the Rika tin tomato. She carried Indomie. This one is Indomie. Maggi where they take the cocoa. She carried it. She carried Indomie, power oil, red oil, even pig milk, Dano, Milo, sugar, and even these shoes. Are they your shoes? She even packed their shoes as well. And Avanska, the people you were working for, were they maltreating you? She said no. Were they not paying you well? She said no. Were they not giving you food? She said no. So why did you do this? Before they came back, she packed all these things, went outside, got a cabman, in connivance with a driver. Your name is what? Rafe. In connivance with the driver to the principal that they were working for, and made their way with all these things to Plateau State, to just Plateau. Where in Plateau are you from? Mongu. Unfortunately for her, she didn't even just do that. She destroyed her SIM card. Someone that said she didn't know what came over her, she destroyed her SIM card. But trust us in Delta State Police Command. When it comes to intelligence-led investigation, we are professional. That I can give to the command. She was strayed to our village and she was arrested. Eventually, the said driver who said he knew nothing about it was also indicted that he actually helped her to pack But when he was confronted, he said he didn't know anything. Auntie, what's your name?
Rosemary.
Rosemary, you go open your mouth too. How old are you?
I'm 19.
You are 19 years. How long have you been working with this, your oga?
1 year plus.
1 year plus. So this money and this naira, where did you get them from?
From his wardrobe.
His wardrobe. Did you have access to his bedroom or you broke the key?
I used to clean the room. Everywhere is open.
Okay, everywhere is open. So who was at home that day that you did all these things?
Nobody.
Nobody. Do you know this man here?
Yes, sir.
What did he help you to do on that day?
When I packed things outside, he now helped me pack things inside the car.
What did he help you to pack?
Those bags and this one.
Okay, was he aware that you carried all this Indomie?
I've already put them before he informed me.
He know abi he no know?
I told him I was going to Webu.
To Webu?
Yes.
Did he see all this Indomie?
I don't know because I've put them inside.
Alright, was he aware that you carried all this money?
No, sir.
He's not aware?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about this POS and the rest? No. Okay, you've already packed before you called him to assist you.
Yes.
So you are trying to tell us that he has no hand in what you did?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, if that's your statement, thank you for being honest. However, we should be mindful of people we employ. We should know them well and also monitor them, because this could have been worse. It could have carried what would have been even taking the life of her principal. But thank God the principal trusted us and reported. She was straight to Plateau State, arrested, and almost everything she stole from them we recovered. Though some of the money, this money, how much you don't spend for inside this money?
It reached like 400.
That you spent. What did you use the money for?
I flashed phone almost to 150, 200.
You flashed your phones 150. So why did you do all these things? I want you to tell me and the audience why you robbed them and ran away.
So I've never planned anything bad to them since working with them.
Okay.
It was last year in December when I was going home. The husband gave her some things to give me. But suddenly she was angry because I was leaving. So she did not give me anything. So I was so angry. Then I left the house. Then still we are still calling each other. We are still communicating. So one time, it was so hard for us because we are displaced by Fulani.
That's when you were in Jos?
Yes.
So you now came back to work with them?
Yes.
So when you were coming back, you came back with the mind that you want to revenge?
No, sir.
Because I really don't have time for all your story. Are you trying to justify what you have done now?
No, sir.
How does this make you feel?
It makes me feel so
sad. If you work so hard to get something like this and someone comes and take them away from you, how will you feel?
I will not be happy, sir.
You were being paid salary, right?
Yes, sir.
Have they ever stopped paying your salary?
No, sir.
Alright, so we need to be careful of entitlement mentality. Entitlement mentality is dangerous and it's in fact, it's dangerous and can cause a lot of havoc in our society.
Right. Intelligence officer Bright Duffy. For the point in time, part of what I want to kind of like point out from that compo is the part where the young girl came from. She's 19 and she's from Plateau State, right? So among the people displaced by the Fulani herdsmen, as she put it, so most of them have been, they have obstructed their education. Some of these children who are victims of this terrorism, especially up north and the Middle Belt, are displaced. We are hearing about 20 million Nigerians living in IDP camps, but that's not the number of people displaced. And the victims of all of this in the last 10 years, they have been children. So if you take 10 years out of that girl's age, she will be 9, probably, where she's been witnessing or hearing these killings, that she eventually became a victim, that she ended up as a house help in faraway Delta states. There are many others who are like in Lagos currently. Their schooling and everything have been like completely stopped because of this endless, war in the north. I'll leave us with that. And yeah, let's call it a night. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I will see you later. Good night.
Thank you. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Mayegun diary politico.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary na he be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbẹ́ni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù máyé ń ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ tún ra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ tún ra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ tún ra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ tún ra kì ṣùgbẹ́ni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.